Not your average guy over here. I want to show you today something that I discovered recently, and I want to share it with you, and that is about how to make your colors pop in the photos that you make. And you can use either Lightroom or Photoshop for this, and you can do this with the Nik collection that I discussed in my previous video. And the thing is, I got a bunch of photos over here, and this is just regular average photo. I didn't use it so far because of the wall that's over here. I didn't like that very much, but since I didn't process this photo, I will use it. I shoot in RAW because then you have the largest dynamic range, bigger than with JPEG. And in RAW, your photos look a little bit flat. You have to process them manually. And because you have to do it manually, it means you have control over how the definite photo is going to look like. And in Lightroom, you have a lot of tools to make that work. Like you can bring in more shadows, you can darken the clouds, and then you can put more saturation and stuff. But Lightroom does not have a lot of abilities to make the colors pop. You have vibrance and saturation, and then you have this menu where you can individual groups of colors, you can change them, but that's about it, you know. I think what's really nice is like the highlights and the shadows version. You can really change your picture with it very easily. But then with the colors it stops. And with this Nik collection, it's gonna be very easy to do this. And what I do is I will just flatten the image, no saturation. And then you can either right click and then go to color effects like this, and then it will make a new file with the effects that you applied. But you can also go to Photoshop, directly to Photoshop, and apply it there. And since you're already going out of Lightroom, I like to go to Photoshop, because if I want to do some more stuff to the photo, then I can do this as well. So that's what I will do. I will go to Photoshop. Here's the photo, and what I do is you go to Color Effects Pro. You just click here. It's basically like another program opens with a lot of options over here, but I just want to use this Color Effects Pro now. And you have two sliders over here, and if I slide them completely back, then this is the image I used to have. And there is something like color contrast over here, right? And that is just genius. I mean, in a normal photo you can enlarge the contrast, and photos need this. And then in Lightroom you can lighten up the dark colors or darken them, or light up the highlights or darken them, you know. So you have a lot of tools to manipulate the luminance, but you don't have so many tools to manipulate the colors. And color contrast, it's like stretching the color range so that there is more contrast in the colors, not so much in the luminance but in the colors. And that is just awesome. Look what happens. It's entirely flat. I just push up this slider and you have contrast in the colors. And then if this slider up here, it lets you decide like in what color range you want this to happen. So it totally transforms the image. You see that? And this is too much, of course. This is too much. But you just slide it up to a level where you think like, okay, you know, it's a little bit dark, so you can adjust the brightness. Basically, you have two sliders and you just go back and forth until you say like, okay, this is how I would like to have the colors. Then you click OK. And now I have a new layer in Photoshop, and look what a difference this makes in a very simple way. What I will do is I will save this for now. So here it is now in Lightroom, and in Lightroom I just do the normal stuff, like maybe a little bit more blacks. It's a little bit dark, so lighten up the shadows. There is a piece of paper over here that I don't like, and I want to get rid of this, so let's just choose something. Nobody will notice that it's not there anymore. And what I like to do is I like to darken the blues a little bit, so you get a darker sky. You see that? And then I like to add clarity, like between 10 and 20%. So let's do 15. Maybe that's a bit much. Like this. Maybe light up the shadows even a little bit more. Sometimes I even put a little bit more, a darkening of the sky, and maybe even a little bit more clarity. You see that? And now you can even add some vibrance and saturation. And maybe now the yellow is too much, so I do go to the saturation here. I get a little bit of yellow out. But anyway, look at this. You see that? And that is very easy. The image is very colorful right now, like it was when I was there. And with this color contrast from the Nik collection, you can very easily bring a lot of color into your image, better than what you can do with Lightroom itself. And as you can see, I got a lot of photos over here where I did this kind of stuff. You see, original photo, this one, and then this is like what I did in Lightroom. It's not that great. This is like when I go photoshopping and do it in a regular way. And this is with the Nik collection, original image raw. It's not that interesting photo, but when you bring in the colors like this, it's like nice. And then now I can see why I made the photo again, you know? Original photo, colors pop. And this one, this is with Lightroom settings. This is what I can do in Lightroom. This is what I can do with color contrast. You see, in Lightroom, this is how far I can get. And it's still a little bit flat. With color contrast, bam! You see that? I hope you like this tip and you can use it. You can give me any comment and give me a thumbs up if you liked it. See you on the next video.